What's poppin', kitties? It's your favorite tomboy Barbie, Coco Louie, and you are now tuning into the Louie Chronicles. And today I have with me the Polar Movement's very own Mr. Yuck. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So before we get started with this juicy interview, we're going to play some games because I like those. You good for that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the first game is called Would You Rather. And basically I'm going to ask you, would you rather this one or this one? And you know, tell me which one.
What if I don't want neither? I'm just messing with
Well,
you.
I mean, look, hey, that's on you. So the first one is, would you rather eat oatmeal or cream of wheat?
Oatmeal, for sure.
Okay, wait. Do you put butter in your oatmeal?
Definitely not.
Why would you say that?
Because it's better. First of all, I don't put none of that stuff in my oatmeal.
What do you put in your oatmeal?
Milk.
Okay.
That's it. I don't make my own oatmeal. I get the junks from the pack, from the store. I put milk in
So
the
you
pack.
don't...
Nah.
Well, you probably can't even cook. You're supposed to put the butter,
I actually
the
be
sugar,
getting the
and the
oatmeal with
milk.
the dinosaur joints in it.
But you still put the sugar and the butter.
Nah. Quaker oats.
I'd rather not
Milk.
eat your oatmeal. It's okay. So, would you rather be in a desert in 100 degrees with no water or lick a homeless man's foot?
I'm not licking any man's foot. Put me in the desert. What you talk? That's easy. Come on, man.
Okay, I just had to ask. Okay, would you rather listen to Baby Shark for 5 hours or Crying Baby for 5 hours?
Definitely Baby Shark, because when my son be crying, sometimes I put on that jump.
Oh, okay,
He be
Sue's the
cranking that
baby.
jump.
Oh, do you do the little...
No.
No? Okay, it's cool.
Sometimes.
Would you rather go on a date at a five-star restaurant with your dream girl and your car get declined, or propose in front of a bunch of people and get turned down?
The car decline, that's the finesse.
Okay.
That's the finesse. What you mean?
Okay. Would you rather be in a tank with sharks or lay in a tank and have spiders thrown on you?
That's a good one. Put me in that joint with sharks, because I'm about that life.
Okay.
I don't mess with spiders, though.
No, I don't even. So I probably would have to be the little shark bait. Yeah.
But if you got any like cut or something on you, done. You know that
Well,
they go to the blood, right?
but if the cut is not, if it's not bleeding, then you're okay. Like if it's just an old cut, like the one on my thumb.
That's a scab.
I'm just.
But if that joint open up or something,
Well then, look,
you never know.
mommy, I love you. Okay. Last one. Would you rather see your loved one and not hear them, or would you rather hear them and not see them?
You be high making up these questions.
No, that's a real life question.
Would I rather? I'd rather see them.
And not hear them.
Nah, I don't know, but that's hard. I guess see them. Yeah, I probably see them.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. I said see because I know sign language, so it's nothing for me to not to have to hear you. I just talk to you.
Yeah, you right. I was thinking that too.
You know?
Mhm.
But anyway, we're going to jump into this interview.
Okay.
So, you are from New York.
Oh,
And originally, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you live in PG County. So, what part of PG County did you grow up in?
Like Law, Bowie. I lived everywhere in PG.
Okay.
When I first moved here from New York, I lived in Lanham.
Okay.
Then-
Shout out to Lano.
Shout out to Lanham. Then I moved to Law. Then I moved to Bowie.
Mhm.
My grandmother and my cousin grew up in Cap Heights, and I was over there like every day. So spent a lot of time there. Then when I was in college, I pretty much lived with my grandmother when I came home. And she lived in like Landover area. I lived everywhere in PG.
Okay.
I lived like almost everywhere in Maryland, period. Because I went to Morgan at first, so I was in B.A.E. too.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
done
Shout out
spent
to
some time in
Morgan.
like the Columbia area, but PG is home for me though.
Okay, so what school did you end up going to? You said you went to Morgan first.
Yeah, then I went to A&T.
Okay,
in
shout out to
Greensboro.
the...
Shout out to the Aggies.
The Aggies, but really it's about
Oh,
the
the Aggies
children.
is
Shout out BSU! Woo, woo!
Stop it. Stop playing. Stop playing.
Anyway,
Catch you at homecoming. Gee,
wow, that's, you know, I'm not gonna lie, G-Ho is
G-Ho?
lit. It's lit, okay? Anyway, back to business. So how did you get into music?
My dad was a hip hop artist back in the day.
Okay.
So I was in the studio since I was like 2 years old.
That's
for real.
cool.
Of course, at 2 I wasn't making music, but just being in that atmosphere. I recall writing my first rap at like 5 years old.
Oh, okay,
Still
that's
remember.
dope.
It's like, my name is Manny. I'm 5 years old. When I rock the stage, they say I shine like gold. Something like that.
Bars.
I was like 5. But ever since then, I mean, I knew I wanted to be a rapper. Like growing up, both of my parents big time hip hop heads. So like, especially growing up in this area that's like heavily focused on go-go. Coming from New York, it was like completely different. So it was like straight hip hop. So back in the day when everybody was going to the go-go's, I went sometimes just to fit in, but I was really more of like the rap dude, you know what I'm saying? So I formed a rap group called Writer's Block when I was in high school.
Okay.
We started to get like a lot of traction in the area. Then when I went to college, it kind of like slowed down a little bit because I wasn't here anymore. But then I created a whole wave, the Polar movement in North Carolina, and then we started to bring traction there. And once I came back home this past summer, we sold out my album release show. So just trying to make moves here now.
Okay. So what would you say sets you apart from, number one, artists in general, other artists, and then artists coming from this area?
I think my experience, like I said, I've been around the game since I can remember really. Like I probably learned how to rap before I learned how to read and write correctly, so, you know what I'm saying? So just my experience, kind of like being a student of the game. I got like OGs in my corner who won't allow me to like sell out or, you know, try to dump my flow down just to match what's going on right now. I'm more focused on like creating my own wave, and I'm just like very passionate about doing so. Like I'm comfortable with being me. A lot of artists struggle with identity, but like you can go back and listen to my music from when I was 15, 16, the message is still constant. So like I'm trying to kick the same knowledge that I was trying to kick back then, but I'm trying to do it in a way that, you know, everybody can gravitate towards it. So like I think that's a challenge as an artist, but that's what makes me different. I'm sort of like cool with being conscious where most people want to stray away from it because it's not mainstream.
I like that. Okay, so what are some of your musical influence? Because I know you sample. Well, I've heard 2 samples, the Lauryn Hill sample, Erykah Badu sample, and then you said growing up, like you were heavily influenced, like just being around the whole hip hop movement, all that stuff. So who are some of your influences?
So like as far as the sampling goes, I really just got to shout out to my producers. Like I got a team of producers, one being my cousin Jameer. He's like very musically inclined, so all of the beats that he samples, that just comes from him. Then my other producer, Grip, he's in North Carolina. He's also very musically inclined, very skilled as a producer. They all come up with those concepts of the samples themselves. Rarely do I really have input on that. I just, when I hear the beat, I catch a wave by how, you know, the beat make me feel. But as far as musical influences go, I definitely have to say Nas is probably my favorite lyricist of all time. Jay-Z probably being my favorite rapper. But like right now, like old Kanye, old Cole, like that's the type of music I kind of like. They kind of like got me through like high school, middle school era. You know what I'm saying? I really like Meek Mill too. A lot of people don't like him, but Meek energy is something that I gravitate towards. It's like that street hustlers music. So like that's like an undertone in a lot of my stuff too. Not like being like a gangster, not like that, but I mean hip hop was made in the streets. You know what I'm saying? As the voice of the oppressed, that's like my brand. I want to give back to the people that's in the streets, help them get out those circumstances. A lot of people are like talking about the trap, but we all trapped in the trap. Ain't nobody talking about getting out. I think like in the golden age of hip hop, the hustlers was talking about hustling to get out. And I think we sort of lost that, so I'm trying to bring that back full circle.
Okay, who would you love to collab with, whether it's producers or other artists or whomever?
I'm really, you know, interested in collabing with a lot of people, just because I feel like when you collab with somebody, it's a lot of things, a lot of elements they bring out of you that you might not have knew you had. So really the producers, like I like to sit in a session with a Kanye, a Swizz Beatz, a Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? Just to, I think that might be a room for improvement in my career, just to get me out of my comfort zone. But I mean, if I could just sit down with, you know, J. Cole in the lab for 12 hours and cook up and spar each other, you know what I'm saying? With like lyrically spar, I would like really like that. That's like having a chance to ball against LeBron or Jordan or Kobe in the off season to help you develop your game. But I mean, any of the heavy hitters, Kendricks, the Coles, the Meeks. I want to make a hit record with Meek. You know what I'm saying? Like just that type of stuff is stuff that I look forward to. But even like the OGs, like Fab or Jadakiss or something like that.
Okay. So Your first project was Black Excellence, and your second project was the B.A.E album. What were some of the things that you learned in between making both projects?
I learned that it's not so much about, it's not all about just having, good lyrics and a decent beat. It's more to it as far as like structuring the song and structuring the album. And I think as I grow, people see the progression of like the quality of my work. So I mean, really, I'm making music in my bedroom, in the closet, and then I'm sending it to my boy, the engineer, who's engineering it in his bedroom in the closet. So like the quality of the music, at a young stage in my career isn't as good as it's gonna be on my next project. But I mean, that's just a part of growing, and just like the overall structuring of a song and trying to really challenge yourself with putting together concepts. Because a lot of people making singles and hit records, but not a lot of people really making good conceptual albums. I feel like that's what make a classic. So that's what I always strive to, do when I create a whole full project.
Okay, I like that you said that, because a lot of the times, especially with the way music is going, you hear people just making songs just to make songs for the moment. Like they don't really have longevity, or it's just like, oh, okay, it's just a trend or the fad. But the fact that you understand, like, no, like you got to make a nice body of work to be considered a classic. So, people like, oh, I like him back when he did this and now he doing this. And so I really like that you said that. So, like you said, you call yourself the voice of the oppressed. How important was it for you to be on Black Brother, and how important do you feel it is to use your platform to speak on social issues?
Man, I mean, when I heard the song Black Brother for the first time, or the concept of the song, Tone actually sent it to me through a voice memo, and he was like, "Hey, yo, Yuck, I need you to get on this track, man. We need to be the voice of the people." I'm like, I'm already the voice of the press. That's something I always do, right? So he like, nah, like this gonna be different. Like my brother just died, one of my close friends, he just died, and I want to really give us a song that people could really relate to and vibe out to and stop all the foolishness. And I'm like, all right, so he just sent me the melody at first. Then I'm like, all right, go ahead, find the beat, send it to me, I'll write to it. So at this time, I was actually like in a state of writer's block. Sometimes I go through that. I mean, I think a lot of great, lyricists oftentimes go through that, like having like a block where you can't really write nothing. You so focused on the perfect sound or the perfect verse that you can't really write, can't really create. And that's where I was at. But then I heard the beat with the sample, the blackberry molasses sample and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is different. And it's normally I try to be real complex with my verses. I'm like, I think I need to take the simple approach to this, because I want people to actually understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to confuse my message at all. I want to tell you straightforward, and I want you to be able to let that sink in, and then Tone gonna come with the hook, and you're gonna be just vibing out to that hook. So you're gonna remember the hook, you're gonna be singing the hook the whole time, and I'm kicking that knowledge, and you really gonna learn something from the track. And then it's just crazy the impact that the song has made. As you can see, like what's going on in the world, we had a lot of big deaths, black on black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cliff died, Nipsey died. It's just like, that song is almost perfect right now for the time. Not to say like we're trying to capitalize off of that, but it just shows the importance of making something with a positive message.
Dreaming of a new day, put them drugs down, put them guns down. We all kings, ain't no self-hate. We showing love now, they call this unity. It starts with community, so we building a foundation. It takes a village to raise these children, black brothers.
Okay, so now I want to touch on the Polar movement, which is like your baby. So exactly what is the Polar movement?
So the Polar movement, it's a lifestyle brand. So Polar, the acronym stands for Positive Outlook About Reality. We started off as a clothing line. When I was at A&T, I was roommates with a guy named Darren Freeman. He actually founded the Polar movement with his brothers. At the time, the business side of Polar wasn't all the way together, but they were using me as sort of like a brand ambassador. So for all those people that's reaching out about being a brand ambassador, just understand that I started off in the company that way. Now I'm a CEO. So I started off as a brand ambassador.
Boss man.
Nah, I started off like as a brand ambassador, real kind of humble. They were just using me to market my music with the clothes. And then people around campus started asking me to buy the clothes, and I was selling them the clothes or whatever. Girls would like it, I'd get them a shirt or two. Guys would like it, I'd sell them a shirt. And then it became like my thing. So I sat Darren down like, hey, I think that I could really, make some moves happen with this. So ever since then, I was making moves happen, and then they had personal things in their lives that affected their position within the company. They couldn't really take it on full time like I was trying to do. So they kind of gave me the polar movement. Like they gave me their baby. So that's why I treat it like it's my baby, because it's important to me. You know what I'm saying? Those are people that built and established a brand, and I just took it to a lot, a lot larger heights, like greater heights. I brought in my best friend Janae to be, the vice president of the company.
Shout out to Janae, that's my boo, my Leo baby.
So she started out just as like my publicist. Like we were both in school. She was doing communications, public relations. I was like, you should be my publicist. We would sit down, we would spend hours talking about our goals and our visions, and then we actually brought that to reality. Then my roommate at the time, Aaron, or A-Dub, is now my manager. You know what I'm saying? That we sit down countless hours just talking about our plans. Then we became the #1 student-owned business on campus. Then NAACP would sponsor us and, pay for us to make hats and stuff for their, campaigns that they were doing. Then I went and lobbied on Capitol Hill and got involved with like activism and stuff like that. And people started, around the time when Mike Brown died, we came out with these power jackets. And I made a song called Mike Brown, and like it went crazy in the North Carolina area. So that was sort of how we became like a movement. And that was our community outreach portion of it. And then, as time just, time took off, as time extended, and we started developing more in the brand, we started to spread, more of our message started to spread, and then now we're just trying to grow. Continue to grow. We got like 11,000 followers. We're trying to hit like 100 this year.
Y'all popping.
Nah, nowhere near.
In confidence with everything you do. To be able to see the end goal no matter what people tell you, no matter if people doubt you, no matter if people tell you no or think that you're incapable. To be a fearless visionary is to be able to see the vision at any cost. Do you have what it takes to be a fearless visionary?
No, for real. Like, you're making a presence, and your presence being felt, especially, the fact that it started off, with just you and your roommate, and it was on your campus, and then you're getting recognition from the NAACP. That's the big deal. So don't just downplay that. That's the big deal. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that's the big deal.
Appreciate that.
So no problem. You guys have artists under you, and then you said you have the fashion. So what else, or what other ways are you guys trying to expand the polar movement?
We try to do a lot of work in the community. Try and get out and do more events in the community, really expand our reach in the community, because we know the community is who's ultimately going to support us as a Black-owned business. So we want to give back in that aspect, and then just really establishing a true identity that we could take and make money, because I think all of us have the goal of becoming a brand where we don't have to work a 9-to-5 for any company. So we want to kind of be like independent and self-sufficient, where we could do everything that we want to do ourselves. If we don't have to go to people for interviews no more, because we might have a media portion of the polar movement that does strictly interviews. So we got our own media. We want to be a respected brand, like a Rock Nation, a Revolt, a Bad Boy, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. So with the artists or everybody involved with the polar movement, are these people that are talented, that you sought out, or are they already kind of like close-knit, like, oh, this is my friend, like how you said Janae, you hired her to be your publicist, and then your other friend is now your manager, shout out to A-Dub, all that stuff. Like, how is that all working?
I consider everybody in the polar movement to be a visionary. Because one of our themes is visions transformed into reality. So take a visionary to do that. Anybody that has goals of changing the future for the better, having that positive and optimistic mindset. So I bring people in that have a similar interest in that, a true interest, because it's a grind. It's not just like a hobby for us. Like, this is something that we're trying to do to change our lives for the better, but really change the world for the better. So it's bigger than us. A lot of times people lose sight of the fact that something could be bigger than you or greater than you. So I want to bring people in that has that same mindset. So the people on the executive board are all people that's like family to me. You know what I'm saying? So those are close-knit people. But then we might contract somebody that we might just bring on the board, that we see that's moving like we move, and we can make some moves together. So it just depends. A lot of people on the executive board are family, to answer your question. But anybody could join the polar movement if they're a visionary.
Okay, so last question. What can we expect for the rest of the year for you as an artist, and then for the polar movement as well?
we about to drop a few classics this year. Like we working on some crazy stuff. So from the clothing aspect, we want to clothe the streets. We want to flood the streets with our clothes, and definitely in the DMV area. Because like I said, it's almost like we're new here because we just got back from college. But we about to we actually are releasing our campaign at the beginning of May for our new spring collection. Then we're gonna have the summer collection. Then we're gonna just keep going each season with more stuff. From a music standpoint, I'm gonna keep pushing the B.A.E album. I feel like it hasn't reached its full potential yet. And right after that, we're gonna drop the Wife album. Ooh. I don't think I've ever even announced that yet, but yeah, the Wife album.
Exclusive. Okay.
Then I got my COO and another artist of the Polar Movement, Sire. He's out in Cali.
Okay.
He cooking up. He working on something. We got Wesley Franklin. He's in New York right now. He working on stuff right now, making a lot of moves and drawing a lot of traction out there. And then we got some other artists as well. Oh, our boy Jalen Hero.
Okay.
He's here in the DMV. He just dropped his project Guns N' Roses. I personally think it might be the best hip hop album underground right now. I should definitely check that out. As far as lyricism goes and punchlines and all of that stuff, my man got it. But we just trying to move. Like everybody in the Polar Movement is doing their thing. A-Dub, he got 100 requests of people that want him to manage them. Like, that's big.
That's huge.
He started
That's huge.
He started out just being a college kid with a dream of pushing me, and now other people trust that he could push their careers to the next level. Janae, she's doing a phenomenal job in media as a correspondent and pushing the brand. She's giving us connections that we never had before just by being in spaces with people who could really influence us and put us in position. So, I mean, we're just humble right now, but soon enough, our visions will be transformed into reality.
I hear that. All right, so we're going to go into the last game, and it's called Your Last. So basically, I'll ask you what's your last, whatever, and then you're just going to give me your answer. Okay?
Hold on, say that for me one more time. It's your last what?
I'm going to ask you a question like your last time or your last whatever it is, and then whatever it is, you give that answer.
Okay, I think I got you. All right.
Okay, so the first one is the last show that you watched.
The Shy.
Okay, oh, I like that show.
Yeah.
Did they renew for a second season?
Season 2, yeah.
Okay, cool. Shout out to the Shy. The last gift that you gave.
The last gift that I gave. What was the last gift I gave? Dang, now you got me feeling like I ain't no good man.
Ooh.
What was the last gift?
Terrible. Looks like you need to make a stop after this.
Maybe I do. But damn kid.
That's a beautiful gift, so shout out to the baby.
I'm tripping. We just went on vacation. Yeah, that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the last person you told I love you.
My son.
Okay. The last vacation you took.
Dominican Republic.
Okay, dear. You know I'm Dominican.
Me too.
For real?
Nah, they call me Los.
You gotta go. Last question. The last lie you told was because.
Because people be out here acting like I ain't Dominicano. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta go.
Sometimes they call me Los. Sometimes they call me Zo Poppy.
Okay, Losa Zo Papi. Okay, they
Kilo, eche kilo.
Listen, un poquito español, papi. Boom. Now, tell everybody where they can find all your music, where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
You can find me on all social media platforms, Mr. Yuck _PKE. So MRYUCK _PKE. You can also search me on any of those streaming platforms, Mr. Yuck, MR.YUCK. The B.A.E album in stores, everywhere online. You can reach out to me, reach out to my manager, the Polar Movement page, at the Polar Movement, THEPOLAR Movement. And I just want to say how happy I am to be here on this show, how thankful I am for you to invite me out. Definitely one of my best interviews, and then just to be here at PGC, you know what I'm saying? It's dope.
Thank you. And you guys can follow your favorite tomboy Barbie on Instagram. That's the Coco_Louie. That's THECOCO_LOUIE. And Twitter and Snap is Coco_Louie. Make sure you like this. Make sure you subscribe to the Louie Chronicles on YouTube. Share with all your little friends and their little friends and all that good stuff. Thanks, guys.
Virgin, dropping his